Hello, I'm Bob Mayer. Welcome to my professional preparation and survival videos. This one is about how to deal with crowds, civil unrest, and riots. The first part is something interesting. Crowds. We often don't think about it, but crowds are very, very dangerous places. Okay, crowds act differently than individuals. There's a power to a crowd. You know, any event you're at can quickly change tone. Okay, you can quickly become caught up in an event that you didn't plan on being caught up in. Okay, so sports events, concerts, movie theaters, any place there's a crowd, there's a possibility for an incident can get out of control. Korea last year, on New Year's Eve, in a street, both ends, people started crowding in, and people got killed. You know, on the left, people don't like that picture, but it's a reality. That Hillsborough soccer match, I covered that in my Great Disasters video, but it was a horrible, horrible thing. And how did it happen? It was a bunch of events coming together. The station nightclub fire killed 100. 11 people were killed at a Who concert because of the crush. Soccer match. It's anytime you're in a crowd, you really have to think things through, okay? You know, the station fire killed 100 people, and everybody ran for the same door. There were other doors that people got out of, and nobody went for it. So anytime you go into a crowded venue, think about what would happen if a fire broke out or an active shooter occurs at a large event. Always know where the exits are, and look for the ones beyond the ones you came in on. Have a plan to get out. Everybody's going to go toward the way they came in instinctively. Okay? Know the area where you live, work, and go to school. Check out and know alternate routes than what you're used to. Get familiar with the area. You know, use your phone apps to check the area out. Every so often, take a different route to familiarize yourself with alternatives. You might even find a faster way of going. I've lived in the same area for a number of years, and I'm constantly finding different ways. If you're driving, make sure you have a physical street map. Okay? If you have to go through an area that might have a riot, carry solution, for instance, your eyes out in case of tear gas. Make sure you have identification. Best way to avoid problems is to avoid the riot, of course. Okay? Social media, hashtags, local media. If something's coming, it'll be up there on social media. Avoid places where security forces and police are gathering. When I lived in South Korea, it was always interesting to watch the pending protests because the police would be on one side of the street gathering together and the protests would be on the other. And they kind of were used to it. That's when it's nice. Sometimes it turns not so nice. Eye protection is critical. Rubber bullets are not soft. Gas pellets fired from paintball guns, not soft. You can lose your vision. We were issued ballistic eye armor in Special Forces. It's kind of interesting. While you might want to film things, it also makes you a target. Just think about that. This is what a professional rioter would be wearing, or a protester. It depends which side you're on. You know, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. You know, notice the construction helmet, the goggles, covering the face so you can't get seen, also protecting your breath, a backpack, elbow and knee pads, loose change for subway fare. I don't know any subways that take loose change anymore. Heat-resistant gloves so you can pick up a hot tear gas canister, throw it back at the police. Talk about a way of making yourself a target. Umbrellas are kind of a smart idea if you think about it. When you're traveling, have as many crossroads as possible. You don't want to be channeled in, okay? Remain calm, hide. Avoidance is always best. Blend in while moving away. Avoid law enforcement if they have donned their riot gear, because they're going to arrest first and ask questions later. We've seen that happen a lot of times here in the United States. Next. If you're in your car, back up and get away. Never attempt to drive through a protest. If you're caught in a crowd, don't drive through, speed up, or act aggressive. Keep your doors locked and your windows up. Riots usually happen on streets, not in buildings. Get off the street and into a building. Okay? Be careful of fires. On foot, go with the flow, become part of the crowd, and edge your way away from the violence. Don't go against the flow of the crowd. Walk away. Don't run, as it will draw attention. Avoid being filmed. Remember, there's a lot of CCTV out there. Keep your head down and covering your face. Even if you're innocent, it might not be good for you. If arrested, do not resist. Go along peacefully. If overseas and arrested, try to contact the embassy immediately. That's just a brief overview. The biggest thing, I think, is to be aware, especially when you walk into any crowded venue. Take a look around and look for the exits. On my website, if you hit that red box, you'll get all the links to all the free apps, websites, and survival gear I talk about. Those are my various books on all of this. I do cover the Hillsborough soccer disaster as one of my 21 great disasters, and the unbelievable sequence of events that led to that. And when you read that, you start realizing how random these things can be, and sometimes you're very close to being in a disaster and you just don't know it. My little black books, and that's my background. Stay safe out there and stay aware, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.